You may have one or two at home, the moody, brooding teen who seems to prefer texting, watching TV, or doing just about anything besides talking to you.
I could tell you it's not only teens.
Oh, no.
It starts a little earlier, but many teens go through that stage where they just don't really want to communicate with their parents or other family members. So in today's Relationship Reboot, our relationship guru, Kirsten Lind Seal, is here with some advice on getting your teens to talk to you. You really can get the teens to talk to us?
Yes, you can, but one of the things, it's like what you said, you actually have to start early. So it helps if you start when they're kids.
Okay.
I mean, sort of an overarching principle is that if you listen to your children, then they will want to talk to you. Which may sound super simple,
Sure.
But many parents don't do it because they get caught up into this thing of I need to parent, I need to do advice, I need to set boundaries. And we're not talking about boundaries or structure, but we are talking about how you interact with your children.
I think a lot of times the teens don't want to talk about things because, I don't know, there's some weird things that are happening when you're a teenager and you don't want to talk to mom or dad about it.
Exactly, especially if when you say something to mom to dad, they go, like that, right?
Right.
So that's one of my tips is for parents is try really, really hard not to freak out. Just stay calm. And even if you're freaking out inside, stay calm on the outside. Practice doing this with your face.
The
Okay.
neutral phase.
The calm, neutral, non-judgmental face.
Right, right. It does take some practice to get that
No,
face
it
down.
totally does. So you might want to start practicing now.
It is. I mean, when you were a kid, did you have that time where you turned sullen?
Yes.
I definitely had the time where I didn't really want to talk to my parents. I thought I didn't need them.
I would talk to anyone else.
Sure.
But not my
Right.
parents.
Right,
All right, so you have tips, and the first
Yes.
one is to...
The first one is for parents to really look at what their actions are and what
Okay.
they're doing, right? So
Okay.
if you are critical or judgmental of your teen,
right, which can happen.
which can happen, and you know, again, we're not talking that you never tell them anything, but just basically if they are trying to tell you about something, like starting early again, if they're trying to tell you something about their world, you need to listen to them and not dismiss it, because then as they get older, they will be more likely to invite you in.
You also say making a couple of jokes can help?
Yes,
or
jokes-
is it humor in general? Because joking about the teens, I feel like could have the opposite
No,
reaction.
that's a bad idea. Exactly right. There's a nuance in there, right? Yes. So wordplay, teens love wordplay, and it's actually kind of okay if they think some of your jokes are lame, because then they get to win, they get to, you know, and it's that sort of back and forth.
A dad joke is appropriate,
A dad
perhaps?
joke is totally appropriate. Like, right, jokes on ourselves, these are good. Teens like those. And then that also shows them that we have a sense of humor about ourselves. We don't take ourselves too seriously, which is, I think, again, one of those interactions where we want to be the power, the one up, and that's where teens just go, yikes,
Yeah.
don't want to do
You
that.
mentioned not freaking out or panicking, trying
Yes.
to keep things under control.
Yep.
What about the way that you get the conversation started?
Right, so indirect questions are good, because if you say something like, so, how was your day at school? Good, fine, right? But if you say, so, what goofy thing did your statistics teacher do today? Or what was the drama? Then that's sort of a more sideways, because what you're saying is, I'm imagining there's some drama. What about the drama? Now, your teen may not want to tell you that, but if you signal that you know that that's probably going on, then that sort of indicates that you're interested in hearing about
And
it.
it's okay to talk about.
Absolutely.
Your last tip kind of makes me laugh a little bit because it's refrain from giving advice. And that's a very difficult thing to do because teens make a lot of mistakes.
Yes, they do, they do. And so again, it's that balance. It's not that you never are going to give your kids advice, but the thing that's important is if they start talking to you about something, like maybe they're talking to you about a girl they like or something, and you're like, well, you know, when I was a teenager, I thought the most important thing, and then, you know, then what you've done is exactly, you've just cut them off.
Yeah.
So that's the part around, it's about being very thoughtful about when you do give advice, and when they're talking, listen to them. I mean, again, it sounds so simple.
I was talking with some moms yesterday about this very topic, and what they had said is often I think parents feel this pressure, like you have to have these quality moments, and so you set up the time at dinner. But the real magic happens in the car when you're driving somewhere. It's these unexpected moments where you're listening, they're talking, and those are the moments that really matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know what's interesting too is that I often tell the families that I work with, I will encourage father and mother to have separate like dates with their kids.
Yeah.
So then you go out. You could even go out to Caribou, or you could go for a walk. Like, it doesn't have to cost any money. But the point is, you as a parent are saying intentionally, I want to spend time with you, and I care about you. Again, you don't have to be brilliant, but you just have to want it.
I feel like for Jason, this is very important that we need to practice your calm face.
Right.
You'll have teenagers in just a couple of years.
You might have teenagers now, even though not technically,
I know.
from what you're saying.
Yes.
I mean, kids start early. I actually see this, like 11-years, and the parents are like, why are they
Is that
acting
your
like
calm
this?
face?
Is that good? Breathe in while you do
Do you
that.
smile or not? No.
Yeah.
Do you smile
well, sort
or
of
no?
like, you want to look empathetic? Again, kind of going back to this empathy. We'll do some more.
I'll work on it. I'll work on it. Oh, yeah.
That's good.
No, I'm feeling judgment. Feeling judgment from that face. Okay, we'll keep practicing.
I mean, there's always judgment. Kirsten, thanks so much for coming
Thank
in.
you.